Hey everybody, the Trinity is not in the Bible. It's not in the New Testament, and it's certainly not in the Hebrew Bible. It's a philosophical framework that was developed between the 2nd and the 5th centuries CE, and the purpose was to standardize the way people thought and talked about Jesus' relationship to God in a way that could be enforced and could be defensible, philosophically speaking, to the broader Greco-Roman intellectual world. When we look at the New Testament authors, they're writing with their own perspectives that are largely building on pre-existing Greco-Roman Jewish frameworks regarding divine intermediation, and we see some of those frameworks in earlier discussions of the Son of Man, Yahuel, Metatron, other divine figures that are somehow participating in divinity. And they have their own takes on this. So Mark presents kind of an adoptionist Christology, and Michael Peppard's wonderful book, The Son of God in the Roman World, has a great discussion about that. John is writing from a more emanationist logos stoic perspective, building on the things that Philo wrote in the early 1st century CE, and Daniel Boyarin has written a lot on the relationship of this emanationist theology to Greco-Roman Jewish thought. And then Paul is talking a lot about Jesus as an authorized bearer of the divine name, much like the messenger of Adonai, the angel of the Lord. And Paul Holloway's wonderful Hermeneia commentary on Philippians discusses that. And I also discuss that to some degree in my own book, Adonai's Divine Images. But once you get the New Testament completed, then you have all these different perspectives, but you want to harmonize and reconcile them. You need an overarching framework that can digest all of this and can be consistent. And that's where the project of the Trinity starts, with 2nd century apologists trying to make the gospel more palatable, to philosophize the gospel for the Greco-Roman intelligentsia. And so you can't even have the Trinity until all these different perspectives are brought together under one roof and made to agree with each other. And so the Trinity is a development of the 2nd through 5th century CE. And some people will say, well, no, they were just trying to articulate this conceptual framework that everybody already understood. But in addition to the fact that you can't share a conceptual framework that you cannot articulate, the articulation changed significantly between the 2nd and the 5th centuries. The Trinity of the 5th century is not the Trinity of the 2nd century. And so it was a development of that time period, and it did not exist when the New Testament was being written.